For Thursday's water games, there are going to be 4 different stations. The first one is going to be a potato sack race. So that's pretty straightforward. You grab your potato sack, pull it up to your waist, you hang on to it, and you have to hop, hop, hop. We'll have a start line and a finish line, and you want to be the fastest person to the finish line. At that same station, I'm going to have that ring toss game that I showed you last week during lunch one day, where you're trying to toss the rings onto that lovely eagle hat that we had. So that'll be one station. The second station is going to be kind of like the game Duck, Duck, Goose. So everyone is going to sit in a circle. The teacher will pick one person to be it, and they're going to get a cup that they fill with water. They're going to go around the circle, and for every person they get to, they're just going to do a little splash of water right on their head. But then, to pick a person who needs to chase you around the circle, you're going to dump the whole cup right on their head. That person is going to stand up. They're going to chase you. You'll go all the way around your classmates in a big circle, and you want to be the first person to sit in that empty space. First person to sit down, they're safe, they stay seated, they keep playing the game. Whoever's left standing gets the cup, and they are going around and they're splish, splish, splashing. The next game is going to be kind of like a relay. So each team is going to, well, each class is going to be split into 2 teams. And those teams are going to line up behind one another. So if I'm the beginning of one team, all of my teammates would be stacked right behind me in a line. So I'll have one team here and then another team here facing the other team. The person at the front of the line is going to get a sponge, and then when the teacher says go, they're going to pass it over their head to the person behind them. That person is going to grab the sponge. They are going to pass it over their head to the person behind them. So the sponge is going to keep going back and back. When it reaches the very last person in the line, that person is going to run to the front, dip the sponge, and it starts all over again. So they pass it over their head to the person behind them. You want to be the first team to have everybody have a chance to pass the sponge over their head. So if I'm the person that started on my team, I'm the first person that got to pass the sponge. When I'm at the very back of the line, because it should move back and back, when I'm at the back of the line, when it's my turn to run up, I'm not going to worry about dipping my sponge. Instead, I want my whole team to sit down. The first team to have everybody sit down is going to be the winner. And then the last one is going to be a tossing game. So again, you'll want to split your class into 2 groups, and then you'll want to have them kind of partnered up so that each student is facing a partner and they're lined up within those partner groups. So it should look like one line all facing the same direction, and then across from them facing is another line of students. Have one group start by wetting their sponge. They're going to hold that sponge and they're going to toss it to their partner just right in front of them. Anyone who successfully catches their sponge is still in the game, but if anyone misses, they are out. They can either sit or go find a shady spot. Once the partner has caught the sponge, the teacher is going to have everyone take a step back. And it should be the same size step for everyone so that they're still lined up and the game is fair. If students need to, they can re-wet the sponge because they should just be returning to the line that they came out of. Again, on the teacher's signal, they're going to toss and hopefully catch the sponge that is tossed by their partner and just keep going back and back and back. So as the game goes, they should be moving further and further apart from one another, and the goal is to see who can be the most successful at being far apart and tossing that wet sponge. I'm hoping that each activity will take about 15 minutes and then we'll rotate through. Once all of the activities have been tried, we'll head back into classrooms and finish our water day with Otter Pops.